have a motion to approve claims 335 through 377 in the amount of $49,665.61.
So moved. I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye. Yes.
Aye.
You only have quarters, so it should probably indicate that the ayes were Mr. Edwards is no longer present in the meeting. Esposito was aye. Myers was aye, and Joyce aye.
Yep. General funds transfer resolution 13-23. The town board approves the following transfers. From the contingency fund account 19904, the amount of $548. To the bookkeeper fund 13401, the reasons under budgeted. The next one's the account number 14124, the town clerk, for $30. To the town clerk supplies of 14104. From the contingency fund 19904 for $8,801 to the attorney line of 14201, under budgeted. Excuse me. Thank you. From the contingency account 19904, the amount of $262 to the web administrator line of 14801. From the account of town hall 16214, in the amount of $90 to the buildings fund of 16204. The next line is from the central print supplies 16714, in the amount of $270 to the central print of 16704. The contingency fund from 19904, the amount of $80 to dog control supplies, account number 35104. From the line, the Board of Appeals stipends, 80164, the amount of $26 to the Board of Appeals supply line of 80144. The Planning Board stipends line of 80264, the amount of $14 to the Planning Board supplies of 80244. And that's the final transfer. Do I have a motion?
So moved. I'll second.
Mr. Edwards is absent. Mr. Brzezinski is absent.
Esposito.
Oh, sorry.
Yes.
Myers.
Yes.
Yes.
Back up to the general fund claims committee, the motion.
Bob, can I see the word funds?
Did Edwards vote? Esposito.
Yes.
Myers.
Yes.
All yes.
Water fund claims. I'm going to do a little bit of math here. I've taken 138 out, which is McDonald Engineering. As soon as I pull it, I'll tell you the story. So McDonald Engineering had sent us bills, 138. 137, 136, 139, no, here it is. For FEMA bank stabilization work and stream bank site survey and design. Earlier in the year, we approved resolutions for McDonald to go ahead and do survey and design, and then to do some engineering work for the FEMA, the bank stabilization. The agreement I have with McDonald, and Doug E. Cole did not know he sent us this bill. So with the agreement I have with, or we have, I guess, with McDonald, is that they will hold all their engineering costs until the completion of the project, and then bill us when we get reimbursed from FEMA well, we already got FEMA from DEC and NRCS, so we're gonna pull this one and hold it. So I just need to do some math here real quick. So the resolution will read, oops. Town Board of Claims approves the claims 128 through 143 with the exception of voucher number 138, which will be not approved, for the total amount of $7,842.60. So let me just check my math again one more time. So, do I have a motion?
What was that final amount?
$7,842.60. So there's originally $13,872.60 minus $6,030. So the final total of $7,842.60. So let me read the resolution back. Do everybody resolve, the town board approves claims number 128 through claims 143 with the exception of voucher number 138 in the total amount of $7,842.60. Thank you, sir.
I'll make the motion. I'll second.
Esposito,
Yes.
Myers,
Yes.
Joyce.
Yes. All right, and we have water fund transfers, sorry. Resolution 1325, do I have a motion that the town board approves the following transfer from water utilities account 83204 in the amount of $271 to 83104 administration expenses?
So moved. Second.
Esposito,
Yes.
Myers,
Yes.
Joyce.
Yes. We done with this one?
Yes.
And 13 is for next line. Town board meeting approved video contract approval for 1/3 and 1/8/13. Resolution number 1326. Supervisor Joyce reviewed and signed the professional services contract between Amy Goodrich and the town of Princetown for the video recordings of January 3rd organizational and January 8th town board meetings for the total sum of $70 per event. Do we have a motion?
Second.
Esposito,
Yes.
Kuzinski, Myers,
Yes.
Joyce.
Yes. And finally, McDonald Engineering contract. Again, this is a contract between Town of Princetown and McDonald Engineering to do the engineering for the Normanville Bank Stabilization Project. That will eventually be funded, or is funded by NRCS, DEC, and FEMA. Again, I just want to go into a contract with them. The billing should be at the end of the close of the project. So do I have a motion that Supervisor Joyce, upon review and approval from Water Commissioner George Meade and Town Attorney Mike Cuevas, sign the engineering services contract for McDonald Engineering to begin the Normanville Creek Bank Stabilization Project to be eventually funded by NRCS, DEC, and FEMA?
I'll make the motion. Second.
Esposito.
Yes.
Myers.
Yes.
Joyce.
Yes. And with that, we'll close this piece of the meeting.
Actually, there is another resolution that I noticed was not on here. It's for the retirement resolution for Gino Santa Barbara. I think I will send it to you, but it didn't get on here.
Yeah, I didn't have the, so I was going to put it on the agenda for next meeting, but we got, if you're ready for it now, do we need the form? For
I have the affidavit, I have to fill it out.
All right. Okay, so this will be resolution 1328. Gino's retirement certification, how many hours you put in? We did get our new statement from New York State Retirement. It's about the first one we got, estimate for 2013. It's gone up.
Not by how much?
10%. Sorry, so retirement resolution for Gino Santa Barbara. Do I have a motion that for the purposes of accrediting work time with New York State Retirement and that Gino Santa Barbara has chosen to participate, the town board approves the retirement schedule determined by timesheets 5.36 credit days per month, recorded for a 3-month period by Gino Santa Barbara. Do I have a motion?
I'll make the motion.
Explain it. Explain this again, man. So I know what I'm voting on here. He's applying for,
Well, no, as an employee, before they can be part of the New York State retirement for the amount of time that you put in. And he's just wanting to get on board.
So you have to record a 3-month period.
okay.
How many hours of work a week, and what we're doing is certifying, saying, yeah, we agree with what he's doing. So Bob's got the first motion.
I'll second.
Esposito.
Yes.
Myers.
Yes.
Joyce.
Yes. And with that, we'll close.
Can I have that back so I can
Yep.
put that word?
With that, we'll close this part of the meeting and reopen it for public comment. All right. I guess we're good. We'll close public comment at 8:34.
Just make a comment, I know, not there as a member of the public, but
Okay.
just so that people understand that the town board has a fiduciary responsibility to town residents to examine all claims that are made. That's one of the principal purposes of a town board, is to make sure that claims are legitimate, and before they pay them, that proper procedures have been followed. Whether it's an internal procurement policy or state law with respect to purchasing, equipment or supplies. A lot of equipment and supplies are available through state contract, and the overriding concern of state government and state law is that municipal officials are required to try and get the best deal for the public as possible, so that there are minimum requirements as far as procurement, so that you can go and you know, and look in a couple of places, but when you're doing your due diligence as a public official, you're supposed to be looking to get the best possible product, you know, best possible price for the town, regardless of if it's, you know, notepads or pens, or whether it's, you know, a big, you know, 20-ton, you know, truck that you're buying for the town. So it's, I don't think that, you know, criticism of the board for doing what they're obligated to do by law is really appropriate. And sometimes it takes a lot of time to go through those things. And so hopefully the public understands that that's required of the board members.
Thanks, Mike.
Can I just say something? I reserved my comment.
You did, but you got it just under the wire. Because that gavel was coming down.
And this is kind of related to with what you're saying, and my comment is, you know, in our business, with what my husband does, he bids on certain jobs, and, you know, whether it be county jobs or whatever, you know, they have to have 3 or 4 different estimates. And I understand what you're saying, and I respect what you're saying, and yes, it is true, but a lot of times, the lowest estimate isn't always, you're not always getting the best product. You know what I mean? You get, sometimes people,
Right.
you
And
get
the law
shoddy
qualifies
jobs, you know what I'm
that.
saying?
They say the lowest responsible bidder. And when you're bidding, you have to have specifications for what you're bidding on, so that you're bidding, what people bidding are bidding to give you the same product. But, you know, there's lots of reasons that these rules are written into
I understand.
state
I'm just,
law.
you know, I'm only saying this because in our business, you know, my husband bids on jobs all the time. You know, I think he's the best plumber in the county, but that's not just because he belongs to me. That's because I know he does a good job. You know what I'm saying? True, but, you know, and if, you know, Joe Schmo next door wants to bid on the same job that my husband is, oh, he might cut corners. I know my husband's not gonna cut corners. You know what I mean? I know what he's putting out there, product-wise. That's why I'm just saying that. Just for, yeah, that's all. I'm done for now.
We have councilman's concerns.
Yep, we have council concerns, so we're gonna close that part of the meeting and open up to council concerns.
Time Warner Cable, Princetown Cable is out. Is this what I'm reading here, correct?
So, yeah, that came in 2 days ago or so. I gave Mike a copy.
You know, there's a process that has to be followed whenever there's a change in a cable franchise. So it actually has to be approved by the Public Service Commission. And that's really what they're putting you on notice. That
Can they sell this even though we have a contract with them?
they can, and that's why it has to go through the Public Service Commission. And the town can comment, you know, before the commission on, you know, transfer. The terms of the franchise generally stay in place, even if there's a change in ownership. But the new cable provider could ask to negotiate a new, well, they could come in and ask to negotiate a new franchise agreement. So that Time Warner has throughout, you know, New York State, there used to be lots of different cable franchise operators, and they're becoming fewer and fewer because there's a few big companies that have it, and you know, that are buying up the little guys, and you know, so you're going to have limited choices. You know, it's going to be
Who else is
one or
out?
two. Well, in different parts of the states, you have Comcast and you have,
Verizon, Fios.
They're not addressed there.
Yeah, well, not in Princetown, but they're,
They are, but they're not in Princetown.
well, you're right, but, I mean, if you're in normal neighborhoods, not doing Abbey normal, but, there's DirecTV, right? There's still satellite, there's Time Warner or Comcast, there's,
So, we don't have any say in this thing, is what you're saying?
well, you can, if there's some real objection that people have, but ultimately, it's going to be the Public Service Commission that determines whether to approve the transfer of the franchise.
How long is our franchise due for, Carol, do you know?
It was a public notice in the paper today.
apparently was in, apparently was in a time of union,
I saw it last week.
yeah, earlier, last week or
So that it's an option, is that what this is about? That-
so.
He's selling it. Mr. Price is selling Princetown Cable to Time Warner.
So I guess we can try to get some franchise fees maybe for the town.
But you're gonna negotiate a new franchise agreement. That's one of the things that most municipalities do. It's-
We have that right then.
Right. You know, there's franchise fees, there's also things, you know, that relate to public access and perhaps public access needs that the town has that aren't being met, that can be part of the agreement. You know, pretty much in Schenectady County, because the city of Schenectady has made their deal with Proctor's that most of the agreements with the other towns within the county have followed the city agreement, but not all of them. This unit's got a separate kind of deal with respect to their public access rights, and the town of Rockville did not agree to the same terms as Proctor's within stage media handling their public access. Those are the principal areas that, you know, towns deal with, but you have to keep in mind that you generally, as a franchise entity, are a place where people come with their complaints about service, so you want to make sure that there are, you know, the new franchise holder is going to be responsive to cable subscribers, their needs, complaints, you know, service needs, things like that.
Can I ask a question? So does that mean that everybody that has Princetown cable has to have Time Warner cable now? They're gonna be overseeing the cable, is that what this is?
Well,
I didn't see the article, so I'm curious.
right, when the franchise is sold, then you're gonna be, you know, turned over to Time Warner. If you don't want to have cable anymore, then that's pretty much your choice, that you don't subscribe to Time Warner cable. But without another cable franchise within the town, then your choice is limited. You can sign on with Time